That's a good thing. We've actually kind of gone back and forth about that, kind of talking about it. And I guess, you're maybe the third or fourth person to tell us that.
You know what they my at church they be like, confirmation is just because you were
Yeah.
disobedient the first time. So
Right. Right. So yeah, this is something we can definitely probably get into motion.
that's really good.
Yeah.
Kind of switching gears a little bit. I do want to bring up, we always talking about love and relationships or whatever. So, in marriage and relationships, Phil, you're married. Jay, you're not married, correct?
No, I'm in a
Okay.
relationship.
But in those spaces you have disagreements. But where is the space speaking to you, Phil, as far as on the married end? It's like, do you want to win the argument just to say, I was right, or do you want to be married? So how do you have a disagreement without destroying your person? Because you hear so many conversations of individuals having whole meltdowns and it's turned into a whole assault, just situation when it could have been something as small as you didn't take the chicken out of the freezer, right? And it goes to another level. And a lot of times that's a sign of something deeper. So, how do you navigate the spaces where you don't always agree or see eye to eye without tearing the persons down, without weaponizing secrets that you told in a previous conversation? How does that happen for you? What does that look like for you?
I will say this. I know for me, when I have disagreements with my wife, is that I know for me, we've had conversations plenty of times. Sometimes I just want to be heard. Sometimes I
Mhm.
just want to feel like you're understanding me without me having to tell you, right? Um, and for me not to feel what I say to her is weaponized is because of how she reacts to it, right?
Mhm.
How she perceives it. And I also know that when we have disagreements, I know it's not going to come out of it's not going to go out the house. So I feel like that's a great deal of respect for us. And I've always felt like disagreements, people are going to have disagreements, people are going to have blowups. That's just human nature. But I know in my household, it's like, when those disagreements happen, like, we're not going to yell at each other. We're not going to call each other out of our names. We're not going to
Mhm.
disrespect each other. But if it gets to a point where there is a meltdown, we take a breather and we come back and we're a little bit cooler heads, right? And
Yeah.
that's just how we handle things, right? As far as fighting fair, I always joke and say like, you know, somebody's got to apologize, which means you lose the battle, but you never lose the war as being married, right?
That's good.
So I found